everyone, welcome back to another Slushbox Apps tutorial, and in this video I'm just going to show you guys the basics of Android Studio and pretty much what to expect opening up Android Studio for the first time. I'm going to go ahead and just create a new project here. Alright, we're just going to call that My Application. Hit Next. Alright, so just like Xcode, if you've used Xcode before, you'll have a bunch of templates you can use for different kinds of apps that you're building. So there's a Google Maps activity, which is just an activity for people that are using an GPS-based application. Most people will just do empty. Basic just gets you this little bubble down at the bottom here, and you can use that to program different kinds of features in. Add, if you're going to be displaying heavy ads in your apps, and then master detail flow is going to be for tablet apps. Navigation drawer would be good for if you're building some kind of social network or profile based app. For this tutorial we're just going to do an empty activity. I'll hit next here, let's hit finish. We'll wait for it to build here. Alright, now after your Android Studio has launched for the first time and you've built the My Application project, you'll see that everything up top is in red here. Now this won't be red for very long. Right now what it's doing is it's building the Gradle, which you can see down here. It only takes a couple minutes. So if this is your first time launching Android Studio, yours is probably not going to come out in a dark theme like mine. Yours is probably going to be like this white, real bright theme. If you want to change that, it's very simple. We're just going to go up to the top where it says Android Studio if you have a Mac, and then we're going to go to Preferences. Now when you open Preferences, it's probably going to open up somewhere in Appearances and Behaviors, but if your screen looks like this, you just want to go to Appearance, and then where it says Theme, you want to go to Darkula. Yours is going to be on default, so you just go ahead and switch it, and then press OK, and we'll get on with the tutorial. You've noticed over here to the left we have our folders. Manifest is like the brain and sinew of the application. It's what it's going to be contacting the software on the phone. And so like right here you can see that the name of the application is called My Application. So this is stuff that's contacting the Android operating system on the phone. And you can see this icon round is an icon displayed for phones that use round applications, and then Android icon up top here is just your normal squared application icon. Main activity is where we're going to be programming and connecting all of our buttons with a layout. I'll show you where the layout's going to be here in a second. If you go down to Res here and we go to Layout and we expand the layout, Activity Main, not Main Activity, but Activity Main is going to be our layout, where we're going to put all of our buttons in our view controller, and we're essentially just going to customize the layout of our application. So if you want, we can drag, just like Xcode, if you guys have ever used Xcode before, we can drag buttons into our project here. We can do checkboxes, just like that. And also just like Xcode, you can also select the item or the button, and then you'll have all these different customization features on the right here. If you don't have this window expanded, there's a little button up here at the top that expands that for you. It's called the Properties tab. And of course, these aren't all the properties. You can go here to the bottom where it says View Properties, and that'll show you all of them. There's quite a few. All right, moving on. If we expand Minimap, this is our icon. So the Android Studio gave us default icons. They're just called IC launchers. And this one's the IC launcher.png. It's just your classic Android head. All right, if you go down to the values folder now, we have colors, strings, and styles. Colors is just a nice way, or I'm sorry, colors.xml is a nice way to store strings that are attached to a certain hexacode. So like we have color primary, and that's attached to 3F5, 1B5. And that gives us a nice purple blue color. And if you go down to color accent here, that's attached to this hexadecimal color. And that just gives us this nice pink color. If you look below colors on the left here, we have strings and then styles. Strings is the same thing as colors. We're just using a string that is attached to any kind of name. All right, so now that we covered all the values, let's go back to the activity main.xml folder. Oh, we're already there. Okay, so we'll click on the button, we'll go to text with the 3 dots off to the side of text. And as you can see, like we said before, the app name is connected to the My Application. So actually anywhere inside activity main and any kind of button or anything, we can actually pull strings from our strings.xml folder that was in our values. So it's really cool if you got like a crap ton of strings that you want to add in at once, you can add those into your strings.xml folder and it will show up anywhere inside the activity main, which is actually really cool. It's something that Xcode doesn't really do. They kind of like manual stuff, but it's a nice little something that Android Studio has for us. So let's call this button My Application. So we can just hit OK. All right, and it'll update the My Application. It'll update the button and now let's say My Application. If we go down here to Gradles, the last tab here, Gradles is just pretty much everything. Alright, so if we go into Gradles down here, Gradle is something that builds the application. It's not something necessarily that we can customize. It's something that actually will never even end up onto the user's phone. It's just something that is here inside Android Studio and is used to pretty much build and launch the application. Alright guys, this was just a quick little tutorial on Android Studio and pretty much how to navigate between all of the main folders that you really need to know about. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe. We're going to do new videos every Friday with Android Studio on how to build certain applications and certain features. I really appreciate it, guys. You have a good one.